I'm excited to see this Duke team play in person, and Indiana State better have Larry Bird walking through those doors.
Exactly. Just saw the record there with Coach Scheyer. 49-3 here at home under his leadership as head coach. They went undefeated last year at 17-0. They won their only home game earlier this year. And it's right into Boozer to get things started.
I love it. A quick cross screen using Gungba as the passer. Out to 15, quick cross. Good job at sealing and staying close to the basket.
Starting five of the Sycamores. Scott leads the team with 14.3 points a game. They go inside and they get the bucket for Scott.
I'll give this, Ian Scott, number 23 for Indiana State. Got to watch out for him. This is an NAIA transfer who can really score the basketball. Terrific player.
Sarr working his way in, got it knocked around, and Scott comes up with it for Indiana State. Derek Vorst now. Blocked by Boozer, got it back. Sterling Young on the drive. Rebound Gungba. Relocating Foster for three. That's not good. And Vorst on the rebound. There's a foul on the floor here.
Should be on Ian Scott. Good call. He's turning around and face blocking out Cam Boozer. He knows the physical strength of the bigger Boozer. You're going to have to do a good job keeping him off the glass. And that's a point of emphasis this game for Jon Scheyer and his coaching staff. He said rebounding is going to be the key to this game.
Offensive foul on Gungba on the moving screen for Duke. And they turn it back over. Our officials tonight, Clarence Armstrong with Jamel Spearman and Jeff Pond. What about as a team coming in here for the first time, right? This is the first ever matchup between these two. What is it like if you're at Indiana State right now?
I think one thing that you're lucky if you're Coach Schlesinger that you have veteran guys and older guards that can kind of manage some of these things. It can be a lot when you first have it. But Sterling Young, last year's SWAC Player of the Year, he's ready to play.
Here's Isaiah Evans trying to feed it to Boozer and it got intercepted. And the Sycamores with Xavier Hall bring it over. 3 early turnovers right now for Duke.
Indiana State scoring over 80 points a game through their first 3 contests. This is a team offensively that's pretty good. They have deep range, especially Camp Wagner.
Deep 3 there, no good by Wagner.
Some 5-out motion using Gungba at the top. He's a terrific passer in these sort of situations. He's so strong physically.
Evans pulls up, no good. Rebound Young. Another long 3 from Wagner, and he drains this one.
Wagner, you better find him quick, fast, and in a hurry. 26 out of his 30 field goal attempts on the season from 3. Not calling him a one-trick pony, but he knows what he's looking for.
Boozer up top to Gungba.
Nice play, Boozer. You see the versatility both as a scorer. Nice lob pass and a little 4-5 action.
And that goes off of Duke.
If you're going to surprise somebody and you're Indiana State, you got to knock down shots. Camp Wagner, this is what he does. That is beyond NBA range, excuse me. And then short roll action. You got to be able to make a decision. Quick toss up. You know where your guy's at. Gungba. That's 2.
So much for nerves coming in here, right? If you're Indiana State. They do it again. Wagner again. He hits another long 3.
2 for $1. Big time shot. Same spot.
And right back the other way as Caden Boozer misses on the 3. Wagner feeds it to Harding. Back inside. Young with a wide open 3. He drains it. And the Sycamores are up 14-4.
My goodness. Sycamores ready to play. Ball movement at an all-time high. They come in with a reputation of as a terrific offensive team, but they better guard him.
Boozer for 3, and he comes back for the Blue Devils.
No home run trots either. Indiana State looking to push up tempo and play quickly. And like you said, Mike, not a team that's going to be intimidated by the moment. A lot of older players and guys that have had success at the college level.
Yeah, no doubt. They're 4 of 5 from three-point range, and Harding misses on that one. 4 of 6 now, and it's out of bounds off of Indiana State.
It's raining threes right now, Mike Corey. Indiana State playing really well. The ball's popping around the perimeter. And Camp Wagner, this is what he does. His second three of the contest so far. And then Sterling Young. This guy played at Florida A&M last year. He was the SWAC player of the year. He's shooting it too. Duke has a battle.
She said they went through the stress test with him. He passed with flying colors, doing much better. Then by next week, they said they're looking to hopefully get him driving again and getting out and about and starting rehab as well. So we wish him all the best and a speedy recovery.
Absolutely. And we talked to Coach Schlesinger before the game, and he said it was almost divine intervention that he got to come back to Indiana State and Terre Haute. He grew up about an hour away. And he did a fantastic job with UNO, University of New Orleans. He helped them transition from Division II to Division I, made it to the NCAA tournament, but there was something calling him to come home. His parents were getting older. He wanted to be around. He has 3 children, and it just made it for a perfect situation. And Indiana State should be happy that he's back and a guy with such experience to help out when times are needed right now for Indiana State.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it worked out for him. He had 24 years in Louisiana, and as you said, his children, one of them appropriately named Nola, right, from New Orleans, where they were, along with Holden and Bo, and his wife Tony. And it's been a good move for him and the family, and we want to send our condolences as well as his mom, Barbara, passed away in August. His dad, Lewis, now living with them as well. So just great to hear that story. And Coach Schlesinger, who's the interim head coach right now for Matthew Graves. The foul here was on St. Bernard. His first.
And Indiana State shooting the cover off the ball. I like what Duke's doing right here. Switch up the flow of this game. You have the best defensive player in the conference on the ball in Malik Brown. Change it up a little bit.
Cam Boozer's got 7 points here for Duke as they're within 5. You saw the note, the largest they have trailed this season in the first 3 games. It was 4 points, and they were down 10 here early. 14-4, they've closed the gap in half.
And if you're a visiting team coming in as a mid-major to a place like Cameron Indoor, the best thing you can do is hit a couple threes to start to gain some confidence. Like I said, these are older players on this Indiana State team. Not a lot of freshmen getting minutes.
Harding misses on the 3. Yeah, they're moving the ball too, Terrence. They got 5 assists on their 5 made baskets. What a drive here by Caden Boozer.
Simply put, Caden Boozer is a winner. A point guard's point guard does a nice job putting pressure on the rim.
That's his first 2 of the game here tonight. Xavier Hall has it for Indiana State. Duke is on a 7-0 run.
You notice all 5-out action, a lot of dribble up, handoffs, uphill DHOs. This is the guy that makes it happen for him, though.
Here's Wagner again for 3. That's short, tipped around, and saved from going out there by J.N. Walker. Enel St. Bernard back out here for Hall. Shot clock's at 10. 3-point Sycamore lead. Walker. No.
The pump fake by the official here.
Offensive, yeah.
Good call. I think Nicholas Hemenia coming over, getting outside of that charge circle, holds his position. Really well done by number 14. I thought he was going to call a block. He goes charge. Duke basketball.
Well, and that's picture perfect there on being set and waiting for the contact. And that is a great call right there. So Walker gets called for the foul for Indiana State.
Nicholas Hemenia is an interesting player. He's 6'8", shoots the ball really well. I saw him in Switzerland at the U19 World Cup where they won a gold medal. And he's just a terrific role player, a cerebral guy who can really shoot it, and he's got size to boot.
Foster fouled on his way in.
Indiana State has to withstand this rush that's happening right now. The energy's picked up on the defensive end for Duke. If you're Indiana State, maintain your cool, your composure, keep moving the basketball and being safe. But Caleb Foster's interesting to me, Mike. And, you know, whenever he was in high school, this was a tough shot maker, a volume scorer. And he's had to change his role as the longer he's been at Cameron Indoor and playing at Duke. He's turned into more of a facilitator, more of a point guard. Not the scoring season he wanted last year, but of course they have Cooper Flagg and Conca-Nipple, and Conca-Nipple is tearing up the world for the Charlotte Hornets right now. Oh, good pressure.
Stays with Indiana State. Yeah, back to Foster. 26th start tonight, 68th game in his Duke career, and to be able to have that kind of experience in this program coming back, that's huge.
It absolutely is huge. And here's the thing about it is he's improved his percentages big time, at least through the first 3 games of this season. You need veteran pieces. Retention's still important. I don't care what anybody says about the modern day of college basketball.
I agree with you there.
Look at Malik Brown.
Here's
all
Hall.
of 6'9", switching on everything. Great pass.
Kicks it out. Young for 3. And rebound.
Oh,
Boozer.
great.
Look at the outlet here. Hermania. Timeout, Indiana.
Your defensive pressure. You put Malik Brown on the ball, going full court, mixing up the coverages a little bit. You just picked up the defensive intensity more than anything. Quick man-to-man, full court. Indiana State looked comfortable by going with that full court pressure. Jon Scheyer needed to take them out of what they were doing. Mission accomplished. 11-0 run for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, the last field goal came at the 16:39 mark here for Indiana State. 3 ball. And that's good. That's Bruno Alwathan.
Native of Spain. Grew up in the Manresa. There's a couple of those guys around college basketball. Right. Nice move.
Boozer inside for the 2. And we're tied at 17.
This game's happening quick. Jon Scheyer talked about the pace of play. As of yesterday, one of the fastest teams in college basketball. He's like, I don't know if that's a good thing or not yet. We're still trying to learn on the fly. But I'll say this, Mike Corey, it's entertaining if nothing else.
Right. Well, you can tell in Indiana State's game is early. They're 5 of 10 from 3-point range. They turned that one over, and Jimenez going to head to the free throw line.
I'm telling you, Jimenez is an interesting player. Doesn't pop off the film as a great athlete, but he gets his hands out, gets a lot of deflections. He's got long arms, shoots the ball well. He's got the swagger of a NASCAR veteran, as my main man Del Curry would have said.
Yeah, I mean, to add on what you've been talking about with this guy, just, you know, the experience, right? He's only a freshman, but to be able to win gold medals with USA.
Multiple.
Yeah, multiple gold medals. He's got 3 of them, right? And the under 18, under 19. I mean, and he's a physical player. I mean, he comes in at 6'8", 215. And already an immediate impact here for this group.
Absolutely. McDonald's All-American, the whole bit. This guy can really play from California, makes the trip cross country. Shoots a pretty ball, though, I can tell you that.
I was looking at those notes earlier for Duke, always having a McDonald's All-American on this team every single year. At least one for the past 41 seasons.
It's a lot of burger boys.
19-17, Duke on top by 2. Here's Hall for Indiana State. Alwathan got it knocked away. Out of bounds off Duke.
I was about to give Indiana State a compliment looking at how spaced out their offense was. And then the one time where everything tightens up, that's when they decide to drive to the hole. So you got to be smart about your opportunities.
Ian Scott, who's got 2 fouls, by the way, for Indiana State, and it's stolen away by Malik Brown. Up to Boozer, Caden Boozer. Evans for 3. Wow.
Terrific screen. My man sets his feet, you can forget about it. Isaiah Evans, very much a feel guy, can get hot in a hurry. He hits his first shot.
And it had a hand right in his face.
Duke on the defensive end really picking it up. Malik Brown, this is what he does on the defensive end of the floor. Then the ball moves around. Isaiah Evans, that's what he does. Corner pocket, that's 3 for number 3. He raved about Cam Boozer, and I said, you know, there's a lot of comparisons to you. I think he might be more athletic than you, Kev. He said, well, there's no doubt about that. But the ability to get a rebound and make an outlet pass, and I was like, absolutely. He said, absolutely. But he goes, I think he'll have a better career than I will. Now, that's Kevin Love saying that, and he's the sweetest human being on the planet. But what a compliment by two guys that play the 4/5 position so well. I found it just unique that Kevin Love, so in tune with it, was able to give him the award, and he's a guy that Cam Boozer is often compared to. I think they're very similar in how they approach the game. Both were inside-out guys. The game has changed some, sure, but at the same time, the ability to get a defensive rebound and push it out and make an outlet pass, we've already seen an example of that. That's where he thrives, and that's where Kevin Love has made a long NBA career.
That's a great story, Terrence. Just saw Carlos Boozer there in the crowd as well. And, yeah, I think Kevin Love, too, an inspirational player in all aspects on and off the court. Here's a three ball.
Deep.
Yeah, Camp Wagner, it doesn't matter where he is, he's going to put it up. He's hit 2 of them here tonight. He's 2 of 5. From three-point range.
They've been about that range, too. Duke has done a nice job forcing him to fire it away from way beyond the line. The length of the Duke defense is really impressive this year.
Caden Boozer was called for the foul. There's 3 team fouls on Duke, 6 right now for Indiana State. Walker and Scott each have 2. Shot clock inside 10, and out of bounds on the sideline. Boy, they really cut off that baseline pretty well, right, if you're Duke, and not letting any penetration underneath the basket.
100%. They're just loading up on help side. You see the pack line. Gungba doing a terrific job getting over. That's just a big man. He's running into a wall.
Yeah,
sorry, Mike. A little switch in defense, a little extended 1-1-3 that turns back into a 2-3. You got to find your opportunities, and if you're open, you better shoot it.
Boozer brothers right there. The tip goes up and in. Caden.
Indiana State started off so well. Duke now on a 20-3 run.
Picking the ball up and going in and getting blocked is St. Bernard. Quickly the other way. Hemenya for 3. Way off, and Vorst has it.
How about the cross-court pass by Cam Boozer?
Another 3, Wagner, no good. Offensive rebound. Sycamores have it. It's over to Young. Another long 3. Young this time. Back rim.
They hit him early. You can't settle for him on every possession.
Evans. What a drive for Duke.
Come on, man. Linked for days. Isaiah Evans, not just a three-point shooter. Excellent in transition with the step through.
He's got 5 points, and Duke leads it 24-17. It is now a 20-3 run by Duke.
They're getting stops, and they're off to the races. Look at how much ground he's able to cover on that little Euro step. Terrific touch.
Gungba with his 2nd personal foul for Duke.
Isaiah Evans, I knew he was going to have a big year. I actually picked him to be a first-team All-ACC guy because he's going to see more opportunity this season. A little bit more of an offensive focal point. Through the first 3 games prior to this one, they're running him off screens. A lot of flares, a lot of pin downs for him to find some rhythm in his shots. And he just has terrific feel and really good balance as a catch-and-shoot guy.
An 11-0 run Duke is on right now. Indiana State trying to change that. It's a 3. Wagner got it.
Camp Wagner sets up Camp behind the three-point line. He's not going anywhere inside of that.
Darren Harris misses on the 3, and almost a save from going out there that time by Brown. Valiant effort. And into the cheerleaders.
Indiana State, they're going to hang around. That ball's got to move. Nice ball fake. He's not going inside that three-point line, Mike Corey.
No, he's not.
He knows his role.
He's got 9 points, all on three-pointers. 3 of 7.
Perpetual movement for Wagner. You have to be really disciplined on the defensive end.
Harding has it. Pushed out deep here with 8 to shoot. Wagner. Oh, nice little move inside. Doesn't go. Tries to tip it in. And they're going to count the basket and say interference. And we've got a big night coming up for you here. We're just getting it started at Duke. We'll go across town to North Carolina. Number 18 in the country. They're hosting NC Central right after us at 9 o'clock Eastern here on the ACC network. Doug Sherman and Chris Matola have the call for you on that one.
Cam Boozer's must-see TV. Caleb Wilson's must-see TV. You want to talk about another freshman in a year of the freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, just an outstanding athlete. And to be honest, the really intriguing part about that is Caden and Cam Boozer were on the same AAU team as Caleb Wilson. So add another layer to that rivalry. Can't wait for that to happen.
Well, yeah,
that to happen.
And that's going to continue, you know, for years down the line too. Obviously, not just in college. You know, when you know these guys from a young age, and they try to go with a little alley-oop there. Boozer looking inside. Now he'll get it back and score.
Big bully get bucket. That's all that was. Cam Boozer, I'm bigger than you, sir.
That's 11 points for him so far in this first half. Averages 18.3 a game. Young dumps it inside for Harding. Out to the corner. It's Walker. And Long on the 3.
I've been really impressed with Indiana State's big men passing the basketball.
Here's Foster. Yep. Caleb Foster on the floater.
That's where he's most comfortable. Pick and roll as a scorer. Get into the lane. Survey and shoot.
That's 4 points for him. 30-22. Duke by 8. Harding trying to work his way inside, and he gets it over Brown.
Hey, Marcus Harding, he's a nice player. Every bit of 6'10", 255 pounds. Nimble of foot. Doesn't jump very high. Does all his work on the ground. But he has the size to be able to bang with the big boys down low for Duke.
T.O. Indiana State's hanging right in this game here. It's a 6-point game. Not too bad. Here's the 3 ball. Brown. Well, good box out there that time. They're going to get an over-the-back foul on Darren Harris. Great box out by Abelfin. It's going to be Indiana State ball down 6 when we come back. It's a 6-point game, and they've got the ball, Terrence.
Duke went on a 20-3 run. Since then, Indiana State got comfortable again, at least starting to knock down a couple of shots. But it's been this pressure that has changed the course of the game for Duke. Look at Dame Sarr. He is pestering the basketball.
Gets the steal and the finish.
You want to get the crazies going? That's how you do it. Terrific defensive possession.
6 turnovers for Indiana State here in this game. Down by 8. On the drive, Hall knocked out.
Dame Sarr, he's got a wingspan of a pterodactyl. Look at this. I mean, the ability to reach around, gets it. The Italian played for Barcelona last season up until August of this year. Great block.
And Sarr on the block.
Dame Sarr, up until this year, was the youngest player to ever get minutes. And we're going to take another look. Offensive goaltending. What a block. Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, they called offensive interference.
Interesting call.
I
Dame
think he was
Sarr,
pulling
though.
the net, by the way.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't see him pull the net. Thank you for that. Dame Sarr was the youngest player to ever suit up for Barcelona's top team in the ACB prior to August of this year. Only at 16 years old when he got his first game action. Defensively, he's special.
Oh, nice play initially, but then it was Gungba that scored it after St. Bernard got a piece of it to begin. 4 points for him. And it's a 10-point Duke lead now, 34-24. 6 minutes to play first half. Xavier Hall for Vorst, and needed a little bit more on that pass. Intercepted. Caden Boozer for his brother. 3-ball. Cam Boozer, and it's 37-24.
I love the extra pass to the corner. Caleb Foster wasn't feeling it right there. Right back to the big fella. The versatility of Cam Boozer is such a good player.
Terrence is already going to have his average here in the first half. He's got 14 points so far.
And he just has a habit of making everything simple. Right? I think there's a grand misnomer with young players thinking, I have to make the spectacular play.
Foster for 3.
Keep the game simple. Go under, Foster, knock it through. You don't have to make something spectacular. This Duke team, really, really tough. Up 16 against Indiana State, trying to hang around. Out of keeping the game simple. That's why he's so valuable. Was he have 16 points here in the first half? I can't remember any of them being difficult. It's because he does all the work before he gets to the shot. Just a terrific talent all the way around.
How about the 10th 10-0 run that Duke has been on in a game this season? 3 of them are here tonight. After trailing 14-4, it's a 36-10 run. Young on the floater. No. Rebound Foster. Boozer. How about that?
When Foster first threw it, I got nervous. You throw that ball on an arc, it could be dangerous with help side coming over.
And a steal. Cameron Boozer. And he's fouled by Wagner. I was going to say, maybe it's our angle from being up here, right, on that pass, but I thought it was going to get intercepted.
I got nervous. Help side. It's a lot of time for that to happen. That'll be a talking point, but my goodness, what a finish. Being able to catch it and finish over the top. This is where Duke has stood out on film, though. Their ability to get out in the passing lanes has been incredible through the first 3.5-ish games that they've played. They live in transition. We talk about pace, and they're one of the top in the country in pace. Well, a lot of the reason is they're getting so many live ball turnovers and getting the layups.
Coach Scheyer has been very pleased with his guys that look for that extra pass to get that better shot. They just saw in the last possession.
He just does such a good job of dumbing things down for guys like me and you. Like he said, what's your most valuable quality? He said it's our ability to say no. And we're like, what do you mean when you say that? Well, if a kid's really talented, he doesn't fit that type of mantra or his mentality as far as how he's going to play unselfishly, and he doesn't have big goals to play in the NBA. We can say no to these kind of guys. We don't have to put up with the riffraff. We're Duke.
Right. Intercepted.
What a luxury.
Foster. And fouled on his way in. Well, that's the thing. I mean, not a lot of teams, have that ability, right? I mean, they obviously have the resources. They always attract typically the best players, right? I mean, at least in the running for them. But then they decide, is that player right for our program?
Speaking of which, they got a really good player committed today. Nobody with the coaching staff's allowed to talk about it, but I'm allowed to talk about it. Cameron Williams coming over. He played with the Compton Magic on the Adidas circuit. This guy's terrific. Long arms, slender, reminds me of Evan Mobley a little bit and how he moves. Perimeter-oriented guy at 6'10", 6'11". Duke, they don't rebuild. They reload.
Yeah, that just came down today, right? We were at shoot-around. You got a text there. Yeah. And said they got to commit. Foul in between Sarr and Wagner for Indiana State. We'll recap it for you when we come back. Duke up big.
Knocked down a couple of threes so far. His versatility has certainly stood out. He's about to get Indiana State by himself.
7 of 8 from the field, and look at that, the most in the first half for a Duke player since 2024. And already with 19 here in this first frame, and a nice little scooping runner by Scott.
Ian Scott, that's what he does. Awkward finishes off the wrong foot. This is a guy that was runner-up to National Player of the Year in NAIA last season. This guy can really play.
Only his second shot of the game. He's hit them both. He's got 4 points, and it's back into Boozer.
He's not as big as that guy, though. Boozer, a man-child.
I mean, his size coming in as a freshman at 6'9", 250.
Oh.
Look at this.
My goodness, Cameron Boozer.
What a start here in this game for him.
Look at Caden
Start
Boozer.
to this season.
Wow.
Oh, nice feed. That was from Wagner to Scott.
Incredible pass. I was about to say, Caden Boozer, his defensive intensity has been outstanding on the opposing team's lead guard. What a wraparound pass that was.
Indiana State scored 14 points in the first 3 minutes and 21 seconds of this game, and they've scored 14 since. And we've got 2.5 left in the first half.
Hey, I want to talk about versatility with big man. What do you think, Mike?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Is that a good idea? Get out of the passing lanes, Booze. Behind the back. I'm going to go ahead and finish with 2. What a play by young Cameron Boozer. Let me remind those who are watching at home, my man's 6'10", 250 pounds.
Yeah, he's a freshman, okay? I know. I was right in front of him earlier at shoot-around today, just watching him put up threes, and it's just another level as Hall gets the runner for 2.
I mean, you talk about a guy who's going to go top 3 pick in the NBA draft. Like, the only thing that you can pick apart from his game, because he's so well-rounded, is like he can't put his chin on the rim. But like, he doesn't really need to. Malik Brown can.
Yeah, speaking again, the chin to the rim. You're right.
How much fun is this Duke team?
Yeah, and Boozer at the foul line too, by the way. If you think, well, what's he at the foul line? He's 20 of 23, 87%. So yeah, not a lot of weaknesses in his game, to say the least. Here's Young, got it stripped away.
Oh.
And right back the other way as Harding intercepts. And Hall got fouled. It's on Isaiah Evans, his first. It'll be a 1-and-1 here coming up. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, ACC Huddle Crew at the University of Pittsburgh. Getting ready for another full day of college football, 2-hour pregame show. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. to noon, right here on the ACC Network.
I consider everything that Eric McLean says to be gospel. One of the all-time good guys, the mayor of the ACC Network, Eric McLean.
He's great. One more here for Xavier Hall.
Talk about Xavier Hall for a second. This is a guy from Shawnee Mission, Kansas, a Truman State transfer, has been coached really well. Truman State Division II. He's the engine that makes this Indiana State team run on the offensive end of the floor. A guy who's physically strong, can get into the paint. Duke's had their way after the first 4 minutes, but he's a guy who's going to put up some big assist numbers in their league.
Indiana State has done a remarkable job of grabbing some of those best players, right, from those sometimes divisions down, like you said, Division II, Division III, even NAIA, right? I mean, all of a sudden they step up and they get a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and they play really well at this level. They fit right in.
The portal giveth and the portal taketh away.
That's for sure. Caden Boozer, not there, out of bounds off of Duke. Kamenya. Well, that's the thing. You do really well, and then you're even up another level. But, you know, I thought Josh Schertz from before with this Indiana State team, and then now Matt Graves continuing that, along with Coach Schlesinger, who's the interim head coach for right now while Graves gets back from surgery.
And you covered the Indiana State NIT run.
Yes. It was incredible.
When Schertz and all those guys made it all the way to the championship game.
Yeah, Isaiah Swope and Robbie Avila, and a lot of great players on that team.
Schertz obviously now at St. Louis, but I mean, the tradition continues. And as we talked with Coach Schlesinger, how much the people of Indiana State love Indiana State. Terre Haute, that is a basketball town.
I'll tell you, we were here during the shoot-around today, this morning, and they had a lot of donors and alumni and friends of the program come out with them on this trip, on the team charter, and he wanted them all to come out onto the court to take a picture, and he got a little choked
He
up
did.
when he was talking about it. He just says it means so much to us, all your support. Thank you. Thank you for being here. What a great experience, though. You're happy for him in this group.
Well, he talks about it being such a special place, and we've already talked about, being able to see his parents, and unfortunately his mother passing in August, as you alluded to. And just for him to be close to family, he understands what Indiana State's about. It's a truly special place up at Terre Haute. And for him to be back in this position as head coach, on an interim basis, of course, but he just harped on it, how special and the perfect timing, and his words, God's will. Incredible stuff. And there's no better man for the job in the interim than Coach Schlesinger.
Yeah, he talked about some of the great, towns in Indiana, right? The top
Bloomington
ones,
and
Bloomington, West Lafayette, and Terre Haute, right?
Absolutely.
In terms of their support and their love for basketball. And yeah, they're getting a good, 5,000-6,000 people at every game still. I mean, that's gonna, that arena is big, but they really turned it on 2 years ago with that NIT run and trying to keep it going. A little bit down last year, but that was expected when you lose your entire starting five. Here's a 3-ball. Evans, no. Hamenya, offensive rebound for the 2.
I thought Isaiah Evans had the first shot, passed it up for a more difficult one.
Game clock down to 4 seconds. And that is knocked out of bounds. I think there's still going to be some time on the clock here. Let's see if they put some more time, or do they say that's the end of the half? No. All right.
Right.
You do a bunch of NBA coverage for Charlotte. I always laugh. We talk about guys' ability at the next level, and he's got to work on his defense. He's got to do this defensively. That I'm like, they're scoring 140 points in the NBA. Who's playing defense right now?
My favorite thing was whenever people used to talk, they're like, well, I don't think he can stay in front of the NBA's guards. My response is always, nobody can stay in front of the NBA's guards.
Exactly. Second half is underway here in Cameron Indoor Stadium. The Sycamores with it. Underneath, they try to get it divorced, and it's intercepted.
Terrific help side defense. Cam Boozer sliding in.
That's 13 turnovers now for the Sycamores, and making them pay off of the Caleb Foster miss is Gungba with a follow. He's got 6.
Gungba lost 20 pounds in June and July. Duke hired a new strength coach, Coach Preston Green. Brings him in. He's like, man, you've struggled with some injury stuff, sure, but let's see if we can drop you down a little bit of weight. Gungba's never looked better as far as physically, how he's able to move around the floor, being able to switch out on some players that last year he would have had no business doing. He looks really good this year compared to last.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sarr knocking down that jumper for Duke as they lead at 56-32, make it 34, basket on a foul as Sterling Young will head to the line here.
This is nice job, Cam Boozer trying to stay, by Sterling Young getting downhill. I was thinking that was the possession prior, but Sterling Young's a guy who can score it. Today, got off to a little bit of a quick start at the very beginning of this contest, and then Duke turned up the intensity defensively, but played at FAMU last season for the Rattlers. By the way, underrated jersey combination. Florida A&M.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
But he SWAC Player of the Year last season.
And that's off of Forrest as Boozer was creating havoc there once again. And he picked up a foul in the previous possession. He's only got 1 foul here tonight. 23 points. You talked about, yeah.
He is human.
Oh, right.
That's the first mistake I've seen him make pretty much all day.
Right.
I mean, he's been spectacular in every facet.
Forrest, no, but foul. And it's going to be on Sarr. That's going to be his second. Back to your point about Indiana State getting off to the fast start. They were 4 of 5 from 3-point range. Since then, they're 2 of 12.
Yeah, it's just been a different kind of intensity. And I'm not saying Duke was asleep at the wheel, but sometimes when you're playing an older veteran team and they have guys that can shoot it, you're playing half-court defense. They can get comfortable because they've seen that so much. Duke switching to a full-court man-to-man just changed the rhythm of everything. And are they showing a hoagie on the baseline there? That's a Harris Teeter hoagie.
Yeah.
I love the creativity of the Duke student section.
It's awesome.
It's always been that
every
way.
game coming in with something different, right? Here's Boozer. Just too easy.
I'm just bigger than you. That's all that was. And Ian Scott's a big guy. Like, we talked to Ian Scott before the game. Like, this is a guy who's going to go into pre-med. Like, really intelligent. He's about 6'8", 210 pounds. It's just the sheer size and width of Cam Boozer. Just incredible, really.
Well, it ties his career high, if I could say that, throughout the first 3 games of the season. He's had 25. He's got 25 tonight. Here's a 3-ball that's no good by Evans. And then Boozer's got the offensive board.
Oh, no.
And Foster misses but sticks with it. Boozer again, and he's fouled.
Ball slipped out of Caleb Foster's hands. Hey, Jon Scheyer, point of emphasis for him. We didn't even ask him a question. He came over. We got a rebound tonight. And that is a terrific example right there. You get an open look. That's all well and good. You got 2 guys fighting over the same ball. That slipped out of his hands. I'm giving Caleb Foster a pass there. Slipped out of his hands. But I like the tenacity on the offensive glass for Duke. Obviously a giant point of emphasis.
I want to say this on the 9-man rotation they pretty much have going right now for the Duke Blue Devils. I mean, I think Coach Scheyer was talking about it before. I mean, they have 4 freshmen, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, but they're awesome. I mean, you know, normally you'd say, oh, freshmen, but we're talking here at Duke, and they come in with the size and the ability like they're already a senior. I mean, Boozer, case in point, Hemenya, his brother Caden Boozer, and then also Dame Sarr. So you got 4 really, really talented freshmen out there.
Absolutely. And I think that's the first thing, too, is, you know, you talk about Duke and how many, well, Indiana State's just falling apart. They need to get back to being solid. You talk about guys when, you know, the NBA draft comes up and different things, first thing they look at is body size. And anybody that Jon Scheyer brings in, there's certain prerequisites, right? Nobody that has played tonight is underneath 6'4" tall. And I'm counting Caden Boozer as 6'4" because I don't know actually how tall he is because his hair. But I'm just saying, like, he plays like a bigger guard. Good pass. Oh.
Intercepted back the other way for Evans. And that led me to my next point of the other guys as Evans tries to go up top for Sarr. You got the 4 freshmen and the other 5 players. They've been with this program. I mean, that's what you said, retention and how big that is today. As this 3-pointer goes up and in by Scott. You got Foster, 3rd year of the program. Isaiah Evans is 2nd year. Malik Brown is 2nd year. Darren Harris is 2nd year. And Patrick Gungba is 2nd year. To mix in with those 4 freshmen. And the Blue Devils lead it here big time. We'll be back. And then they give up a 3 on the defensive end, and then he calls a timeout.
I just know that feel. You know, I coached for a short amount of time. Get him. Somebody get him. Anybody. Just get up off the bench. Get his butt out of the game. Hey, it's a commitment to excellence, man. Like Jon Scheyer, so good at performing. Wow.
Boozer and the foul.
Teaching moments. Now up 22. Hey, you got to get value out of these games, right? How about this? Sheer strength.
What do you think about maybe a little push-off there?
Derek Vorst is not a small human.
No.
And Cam Boozer moved him out of the way as if he was my son Damon on an 8-foot hoop. And I'm flushing it. Here's the thing. You're up 22 points. We talked a little bit with Jon Scheyer about playing different styles of teams depending going in your non-conference. And even when you play Indiana State, he said, you know, we played against a lot of teams last season. They wanted to play us slow. And that was great because it helped our defense out. He said he wanted to add some tempo to the non-conference slate this year, simply because you're going to have to communicate a little bit more to figure some of these things out, because in the ACC, as Boozer is just going to score all the points tonight. In the ACC, you're going to play against some teams that like to get up and down, play fast, a lot of threes, in the same vein as what Indiana State likes to do. You got to be ready for these types of situations. That's why you play these.
Well, and they are up 23 points as Boozer has 31 so far in this game here tonight. In this scenario, right? Getting them to come to it.
Well, it's a different day and age. And here's the thing, too. You see the year-by-year improvement. Second round in year one, Elite Eight 2 years ago, and the Final Four last season. They just keep getting better and better. I don't know what that says for this year. We shall see. But, you know, Jon's just so smart. Nice pass by Sarr.
Amenya for three. No, the follow is there by Brown.
And Jon's just so smart in how he communicates. His emotional IQ is out of this world when it comes to being able to reach certain guys. And, you know, the big thing is a lot of times you only get some of these players for 9 months.
Right.
So you have to be able to reach them, and sometimes that means a different approach.
The block to the dunk for Sarr.
I don't know what Sarr's wingspan is, but it's got to be 7'2", 7'3". I mean, it is out of this world, and his athleticism just jumps off the page. He's getting comfortable on the offensive end, and a lot of that stems from his defensive play.
6'8", 190. Talking about number 7 in white for Duke. Ball inside off of Walker.
Defense leading to offense. We have some extracurriculars. Duke is everywhere. Pitch it ahead. Dame Sarr, 2 hands for safety. I mean, just such a good athlete. Wingspan for days, too. My goodness.
Foul was on Brown for Duke, his second.
So this was a whole bunch of nothing right here. This is Jayan Walker, who's from Raleigh, right down the road. Went to Combine Academy in Charlotte, actually. Just a little bit frustrated. He wants things to go well coming back closer to home.
Hall trying to get by Sarr. Out to the wing. Wagner for three. Not there. Rebound pulled in by Hall. Yeah, what do you do here?
Not much.
Yeah. Sorry about your luck there. Got the ball and Boozer's right on him. Now inside a block again. That time by Brown. Missed shot in the corner. All Duke tonight, 68-41. Amenya to Sarr, steps in a three, and it's no good. Rebound Boozer. Second try, yes.
I compare him to Kevin Love. That's a Kevin Love rebound right there. Pad the stats, baby.
He's got 33 tonight on 13 of 16 from the field. And 9 rebounds as well. Hall for three. Well, now Boozer's got a double-double. 10th rebound of the night.
That last defensive possession, Malik Brown coming over on the help side. That's what makes him such a special contributor to this team.
Second double-double this season for Boozer, who grabs the rebound, his 11th. Sarr for three, it's good.
If Dame Sarr can do that with consistency, Duke's ceiling is much different.
Timeout, Indiana State.
When teams have just as much length as you do, there's not many teams that do, but I'm talking about in tournament play. You're going to have to execute in the half court. They have all the weapons to do just that. But in that Texas game, that was the first time where, you saw a little bit of it, but obviously Jon Scheyer, he wants better. Not saying they can't do it. They have all the pieces. It's just a matter of, getting the opportunity to play some of those games. And they're coming up quick, fast, and in a hurry.
But the ability and the environment and everything that they have here at home, which, many of you have seen a ton of games in this building, what it means to them, because Scheyer, as we said at the start of the broadcast, is 49-3 at home.
Right.
I mean, that's 94% of your games you've won at home. I mean, to think about every year, you wonder why this team every single year. Well, that's like 16, 17 wins right there if you're going to do that every year at home. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't defend home court that much better than they have really in their history. It's not just under Scheyer, of course. Foul here going in, and it's going to be Harding. That'll get a couple for Indiana State. So what else do they have coming up as Amenya picks up his second personal foul? The non-conference schedule Yeah, those are a few good ones right there. Yeah. Huh? I mean, you're kidding me? Look at this.
There's certainly some opportunity.
Wow.
I mean, Kansas, Darren Peterson at Kansas, obviously terrific. He's currently out with a hamstring situation, but that non-conference, and Duke always has that to be able to develop some of those things. But it's something that Duke has the ability to schedule because of the program that they are. Scheduling is a very hard thing for a lot of programs.
Yeah.
Not such a difficult thing, or as difficult as Duke, just because you're going to have these opportunities because of the brand. But, you know, half-court execution, they're going to have chances to be able to work on some of those things with their upcoming slate. And man, that was a lot of really good teams on that schedule.
Yeah, there really was. And, you know, you're right. I mean, when you talk about some of the other teams throughout the country that do have a problem with that, because some of them that could be really good, they just don't get the ability to get some of these better teams on the schedule. They say, oh, nobody wants to play us. It's hard to get the games. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's a big portion for that. I mean, but, you know, playing against Arkansas, Calipari's done a fantastic job. Florida, former national, or last year's national champs. Michigan State, always tough. Texas Tech's really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a guy named Christian Anderson who's terrific. German point guard, JT Toppin, obviously had a big game against Illinois in their last contest. Like, you're going to have opportunities to continue to improve before you hit conference play and work on some of this half-court execution.
And that Michigan game as well, too. That's another great team. Look at this. Brown for the flush.
Gungba, how good is he? And I'll be honest, I didn't see all this whenever he was a high school senior playing for Team Takeover, but the passing of what he's capable of doing, quick little dump off to Malik Brown. Make it pretty for you and all the Duke fans. Yeah, it was fully painted about an hour and change ago. I've heard rumors that once upon a time at UMass, Mike Corey used to go full body paint.
Yeah, right. No, we used to actually hold up the newspapers back in the day when they were announcing the starting lineups. Like we weren't paying attention. Remember that? The newspaper.
Yep. You never went full body paint?
No, I never did that.
Okay. Could have fooled me.
We had the women's basketball promo there a moment ago. How about Duke on the women's side? They are on the road taking on West Virginia, down by 7 in the third quarter. Number 15th ranked Duke on the women's side. We got number 4 Duke here tonight. No trouble with Indiana State. Under 12 minutes to go in this game.
Hey, there were some butterflies after the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, down 14-4. And then they quickly erase that with an 11-0 run. They have been playing from ahead pretty much ever since. Cameron Boozer.
Oh, nice play.
33 points here tonight. Runner no good by Foster.
Foster, whenever he gathers, he needs to smack the basketball to get a good grip on it. It's such an easy thing to do, to just try to get up there and go quick as you can.
Right.
Sometimes he's had a problem with that couple of possessions.
Wagner faded away in the corner for 3. Not a great look. Foster, not this time. Three ball, Sterling Young. Wow, off the backboard, and they finally get another one to go down. They were hot early. Now just 2 of 7 here in the second half, and sticking with it for the 2 is Gungba.
8:30 on a Friday, and the bank is open for Indiana State. Gonna have to get back on defense, though. I'm telling you, Gungba's moving well. Running the floor, he's really improved his body.
Well, you had talked about with the strength coach coming in. I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, they look pretty darn good, right? I mean, this is only game 4 of the season, but they're in great shape.
Well, they had the same strength coach for 20-plus years.
Wow. Gungba.
Gungba, goodbye. Not his house. Nice play. But, I mean, even there, the effort to get back, make a play on the ball, that's a volleyball spike. Sign my man up. No, Preston Green, they hired a new strength coach for the first time in 20-plus years. And He comes from Clemson. Before that, he was at Florida. He's been at a lot of places that have had success. But one common theme with the players that he has, there's massive improvements. And, you know, after doing something the same way for 20 years, and it worked, obviously, but you see the improvement in Gungba's body.
That's his third
getting over
block.
there.
Yes, and 6 rebounds, and his presence is felt both ends of the court.
That was a heck of a block. We'll be able to take another look at it. This was the volleyball spike, and he put that in section 6, row F.
Yeah.
And the next possession gets another one.
Hall was called for the foul for Indiana State. Back to Boozer, back to work, and he is fouled by Ian Scott.
Trying to get points number 34 and 35. He's just a load on the interior. In a day and age, too, like, you look at a lot of different fours. There's not a whole lot of back-to-basket guys anymore.
Right.
And the fact that Cam Boozer can play on the outside and be the hub of your offense, be a terrific passer, do a lot of those things. He can also catch the ball on the wing. If he doesn't have a shot, he can Barkley dribble down and put his back to the defense and dribble down. Hadn't shot a free throw as well as he'd like, I'm sure. But to be able to post up, score, use leverage, I mean, like, it's such a different type of way to attack, and he's relentless in how he does so because he's so strong and it never quits. And, like, there's a cumulative effect of playing against a guy like that. You saw it against Texas in game 1. First half didn't have a field goal. Second half, able to get to the foul line, played a lot more physical. But, like, eventually it just gets to you as a defensive player.
Amenya for 3. And it's plays like that, too. You draw so much attention. Nice kick out there with the assist. His 5th of the game. He's got 11 rebounds, 33 points. You saw the note there about being the first freshman to have 30-plus along with the blocks and the assists. 3 blocks as well. First time in 6 years that's happened for a freshman. Those numbers. Caden Boozer for 3. Harris got it back, and then he's fouled by Young.
Young, frustrated with himself right there. That's one of those, there's just nothing you could do. Get stuck, wrong place, wrong time. Get to the next play. Darren Harris comes in the game. First time I saw Darren Harris play, him and Gungba were on the same high school team. They were also on the same AAU team. Played St. Paul IV. And, like, this is a guy that's a big-time scorer that has been patient with his minutes, that has continued to work, and he stuck around. And a lot of guys, let's be honest, too, Mike, you have a year where you don't play all that much, guys are out of there. No, he sticks around.
Well, think about where you are at, right, to begin with. And,
sure.
And I'm with you, though. I think if more players, and I'm just saying, you know, I know, take the money out of it for a second. I mean, you want to improve. You want to get better. You want to see your stock. I mean, you got this guy, okay? You got this program. I mean, where else would you get someone teaching you and the ability from these guys over the years to say, hey, we need you to do this. You do this, you're going to play. You're going to get better. You're going to get to the next level. I mean, it's a great place to be at. I'm not quite sure.
No doubt. And there's a lot of great coaches around the country. The accumulation of talent at Duke is different. They've played 9 guys today. All of them will have a shot in some way, shape, or form at the next level. You're practicing against those guys every day. Right? You know, you look up and down different rosters around this league. There might be 2, maybe 3 on a really good team. But they're bringing their lunch pail every day at Duke because everybody has those goals.
3-ball, Gungba. No.
He needs to let it fly. Like, Gungba's thinking about it instead of shooting it.
Yeah.
You saw how slow that ball came up. Let that ball go, man. He promised Jon Scheyer he was going to shoot him. Him and Malik Brown.
He did.
That's what Scheyer, he said, man, if these guys don't shoot, they promised me they would shoot a couple of threes when they were open.
Well, they're 7 for 21 overall in this game here tonight. Inside for the 2.
There we go.
Foster. The number that's crazy here is points in the paint tonight for Duke. 50. Or 48 there, 48 points in the paint. Indiana State's got 47 total.
That's exactly right. Indiana State, they hit some really hard shots at the beginning, but the length of Duke is just crazy. Need to finish this.
And Foster does. He's got 11. Third player now in double figures in scoring for Duke, and the other way it's Vorst for the jumper.
Vorst has a nice little game. 6'10", 250 pounds and change. Not the most athletic guy, but a good floor game. Plays with pretty decent balance. He's going to have a really nice year in the Missouri Valley.
Evans for three. Good job track down that rebound. Zaire Green. Under 8 minutes to go in the contest. 84-49. NBA range three. It's taken away.
Hey,
wow.
NBA range three, NBA wingspan.
Yeah. 11-1 in terms of the blocks. Amenya to Foster for three. Inside, outside, doesn't matter. 87-49, timeout Indiana State.
Those three going to be in the conversation for top pick in the draft. Nate Amenya, obviously terrific at University of Tennessee. One guy that's not on there, though, Michael Brown Jr. at Louisville, is absolutely terrific. A do-it-all point guard, can really score it. Had a monster game against Kentucky.
St. Bernard here on the dunk for Indiana State. How about the guy that we just saw the other night at NC State, Darian Williams?
He's just tough, but he's old. I mean, we're talking freshman. You know, Darian Williams, 30 years old almost.
Yeah, right.
He's not, but
yeah.
You know, a guy that's had a lot of success. Darian Williams was at Nevada, was Mountain West Freshman of the Year, stayed an extra year under Steve Alford. A little high-low action under Steve Alford. Transfers to Texas Tech, has some big-time games, especially in the NCAA tournament. Will Wade has a team to be reckoned with as well.
Yeah.
And that's what he's calling it.
I guess I was thinking in terms of ACC, some of the top players
Sure.
that were showing that a couple of them are right here in this league from that list. But, you know, that they're going to be a tough team to be reckoned with, I think, as well this year, too.
You know, not only those guys that we just mentioned, Shelton Henderson down at the University of Miami, he's another guy that was a top 25, top 30 kid. He was committed to Duke, but when Jay Lucas took the Miami job, he followed Jay down to Miami. So that's going to be an interesting one. He's this big, you know, imposing small forward 2-3 type of player that really kind of fills the same role as Dame Sarr does here. He's just a little bit bigger across the shoulders, but
how about Boozer?
Yep.
35 points, ties for second most by a Duke freshman. Okay, and how about double-doubles, right? 30-point double-doubles. His father, he only got one, and it was his 94th game of his career against Virginia. He had 33 and 10, and he got Cameron here in his fourth game of his freshman season with a 30-point double-double, 35 and 11.
Don't tell me what to do, Dad. How about that? That's incredible.
Bet you if you ask Carlos, he's going to just say, oh, man, he's better than me, farther along where I was. You know what I mean? Like,
just such
the
a humble
props that he
guy.
would probably give his son with what he's done so far up to this point. Wow.
Absolutely. And you know, Cameron's been incredible today. And sometimes I feel like because he's Cam's brother, Caden gets overlooked a lot. Like, he's another really good player. And he's not going to have these giant outbursts, these, you know, 33, 35-point games. But he's a guy who's going to make his teammates better consistently. And like that attributes to winning, right? He's a winning player. But both of them are, but they do it in different fashions. And it shows a lot. You know, I talked to several different head coaches around the country, and I talked to Furman's Bob Ritchie, and it stuck out to me. He's like, if I could recruit a guy whose dad or mom played Division I basketball, it makes my job a lot easier. Because there's been a certain amount of conditioning with these younger players that they know what to expect. No better example than the Boozer brothers here.
Oh, yeah. Well, and in that example that you mentioned, it's usually, the family, because everybody's played that, they're so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're always like, oh, he's really good. Yeah, well, his mom played, his dad played. I mean, you just already have that mentality from when you first grew up, and you want to be just as good as they were, so.
There's a lot of that. And, I have a son. I think the biggest thing when it comes to guys that have played before, they let their kids be coached. And Carlos, obviously, you want to talk about jacked.
Yeah.
My man was jacked on some really good teams here at Duke. I mean, national championship team.
It's understandable how Cameron comes
from somewhere.
Yeah, looking this way, right?
But, I mean, they let their kids be coached. Like, that's the biggest thing that coaches have told me over the last, 2 or 3 years since I've been jumping into media. Like, if there's a child or a young recruit whose parents played, I'm going to zero in on that guy because he's been talked to a certain way, and he understands what it takes.
Recruiting at Duke, right? I mean, you probably just have to make sure you get the alumni base and all their children that have come up through the ranks. I mean, that makes half your job probably easier, right? I mean, it's not a hard sell, yeah. I would think.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to love? And especially the focus. There was a shift in Coach K's focus to get guys that are willing to be one and dones. And people don't remember, like, that was a big deal a while ago. Like, when's he going to make the jump and not have these?
That's right.
Right. When's he going to make the jump and not have these, 4-year players, guys that hang around? And there was a bit of a talent gap. And Scheyer even alluded to that today, talking about today's recruiting, not that time, but, like, there's a talent gap. If you're trying to get these one and dones, like, whenever K made that shift, they got back to where they were really, really good again. That was a big deal.
That's a great point. People forgot that. He wanted them here for 4 years, right? And that you're right. They would not be able to go early. Obviously, we know what he's done. And when you make that shift, like you said, you're now in line with everybody else because that's what's happened.
Yep. And it's a balancing act right now with these freshmen. Do you take these young, talented freshmen, or do you go in the transfer portal and you get these older players? And while there might be a talent gap, sure, like, you know what you're getting. And, like, that's the balance right now, especially at this level. Like, how do you go about it? You talk about Sion James, and whenever he came last year from Tulane, physically mature, could help right away and fit alongside that team perfectly. Look at this student section.
You got the free hoagie or something, right? That's why they're going nuts, right? The free hoagie, yeah. And you missed 2 free throws to the opponent.
Hoagies at Harris Teeter postgame.
They're fired up. Alley-oop try, sort of, and picked up, and a foul as Gunba is going to go to the free throw line. Yeah, and you talk about getting transfers, right? Well, Duke doesn't do that all as much. I mean, they got Brown, who's from Syracuse, but it's a second year with Duke.
Sure.
You got the 4 true freshmen. The other 5 have been around this program from last year. I mean, it's taking the right guys, and it's not having an entirely new team. Like, we've seen that around the country too.
I mean, they do have some transfers, like Jack Scott's from Princeton, but he understands his role and what he's here to do.
Sure, and a couple from Rice.
Sure, and Cameron Sheffield. But
yep.
If you do take a transfer, you have to pretty much know exactly what you're going to do with them whenever they come in, because they could ruin it now.
Right.
Expectations are at a certain point. It's an almost impossible puzzle to figure out, yet Jon Scheyer has absolutely nailed it for 4 years now.
What an incredible transition, right? I mean, tough hit there as Hamenya goes right into Alofin.
Lost a shoe.
Yeah, that didn't look good. My goodness. Yeah, Bruno Alofin. Banged up there after that hit.
That was a collision right there. Looks like he's going to be okay. We'll take a look at it right here. Look, that's just all-out hustle. Oh, man.
Right to the leg. He was just trying to go for the ball, but...
Yeah, nothing dirty there.
Saturday college football coming your way tomorrow, right here on the ACC network. We got ball hosting Virginia tomorrow.
Fun game.
Yep. The Sarr crew here in town. They're at the game tonight. Mike Monaco with Kirk Morrison and Don Davenport on the call tomorrow. That's on ESPN2.
Tony Elliott was my mom's neighbor when he lived in Clemson.
Really?
Yeah. Side note.
Okay.
Super nice guy. Son's a really good basketball player, actually.
Ooh.
Ifeanyi Ufuchukwu checks in, getting some minutes.
Graduate student out of Nigeria, number 15. Taken away, here is Ian Scott.
Nice little push off right there. You see
Yeah,
that? Hey, you alluded to like, hey, Ian Scott is going to be like an absolute killer in the Missouri Valley. It's just so unorthodox.
Yeah, well, and it's tough, like, obviously, against Duke here tonight, but he averages a double-double. Like, coming into this game, he had 14 and 10, and he is going to be a threat for Indiana State this year. And this guy, too, shot the ball well early. Not going to be able to keep that pace up. That's Wagner there, who has incredible range. This little hop step for the two by Caden Boozer.
A hop, skip, and a jump by Caden Boozer. Good to call his name.
I think your point's taken, right? I mean, he's going to do so many good things that, maybe will get overlooked a little bit by his brother, but I mean, he's certainly a force, to be reckoned with as well.
A point guard who knows how to play and is willing to let the ball go. And that is so valued. What a nice shot. There, Marcus Harding.
And a timeout. 3:12 to go. Duke up big. We'll be back.
Other guys. It's been the booze cruise all day today, baby. Cameron Booze.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing, really, how he's able to impact the game on so many levels. I say.
Oh, what a shot. That's Harris.
He can do that. He can do that.
Well, there was a three-point contest that Duke had in their little version of Midnight Madness, if you will, a little while back. He hit 17 threes in a row. Darren Harris.
I mean,
sick. Two and a half to go.
They've just been swarming on defense. And like the collective size, there's two for $1.
Again, Harris.
This got out of hand quick. Indiana State started off, hit a couple of threes. There was some confidence going.
How about that? First back-to-back 100-plus point games in 8 years for Duke. Another block. Ufuchukwu on the block. Now into him on the offensive end. Duke has 47 assists in the last 2 games, including 22 here tonight.
Just sharing the basketball.
Yeah.
And, when you have so many guys, watch out.
Oh, nice play here from Enel St. Bernard.
St. Bernard, that's what he does. He lives at the rim. Just an aggressive rim attack guy. But you talk about all the assists. Duke only 12 turnovers to go alongside 22 assists. So there were some things they could clean up. For example, that lob pass that Caleb Foster tried to make. There's some small things. There's going to be some teachable moments here, but the general unselfishness has been just off the charts good. Now
Duke has coming up Kansas. 4 days from now on ESPN at 9 o'clock on the 18th. We saw the schedule. I mean,
yeah, I wonder if Darren Peterson's going to play in that game. Went down with strained hamstring. Curious to see if he plays. Just a really talented. You could have 2 of the top 3 picks in the NBA draft in that game.
Indiana State's going to go home for a couple. Louisiana Tech and Ball State come into their arena. First ever time they've played Duke here. Kind of what you might have expected coming in. And Duke has delivered. 40 seconds left.
Get Jack Scott a shot right here.
Instead it's Semenya.
Oh, here he is.
There you go. The rebound.
Good pass.
Out to the top. It's a three and no good. Rebound Scott. Off the Cameron Sheffield miss. And they're going to just hold it up here and finish this one off. 50-3 now at home under Coach Scheyer. 19 wins in a row here in Cameron Indoor. And no doubt here tonight, 100-62 over Indiana State. The number 4 team in the country is 4-0.
Nice performance. Started out a little slow, the full court pressure and the